Have you ever been laid down in bed or even do your daily work routine and then bang, you get this sharp, sudden painful feeling in your leg? When this happens, we realize it is a cramp. It usually throws us off by surprise, and in those daunting seconds or even minutes of pain, we usually forget how to ease them. We typically try to walk it off or do some funky movements for the pain to leave. While that is usually the wrong idea, we should all avoid as it can increase the pain. When encountering sudden cramps, you can ease it by stretching out the muscle gently, as it can help reduce the pain. Stretching can help improve the body in various ways as it keeps our muscles strong, healthy, and flexible. When I used to do cheerleading, I would get to practice late, and I would avoid my regular stretches so I could just jump right into practice. Usually when I would do that, I recognized that every time I did not stretch, I'd either pull something or get cramps in the middle of the night. Today, I will speak upon how stretching is beneficial to our physical activity, the different types of stretches, and the benefits it has on our mental health. There are many things we do in our day-to-day lives that we make sure our body is well cared for. One thing we often lack in forgetting is the benefits of stretching. Believe it or not, stretching is one of the key factors that improves our physical activity. According to the article, Flexibility by UC Davis Sports Medicine states, muscles that are inflexible tire more quickly, causing opposing muscle groups to work harder. Muscle fatigue can lead to muscular injuries and the inability of the muscles to project joints from more severe injuries. With that said, the lack of stretching is causing our muscles to work harder than they need to. Without stretching, we are not giving our joints the full range of motion to function properly, which can cause our muscles' flexibility to weaken over time and make us more prone of having muscle damage, joint pains, and strains as we get older, which will cause our physical activity to become more difficult than it should be. But it doesn't have to be that way. Taking 10 to 15 minutes out of your day to stretch will release the tensions among your muscles and will improve your physical activity. It will also improve your blood circulation around your muscles and will decrease your risk of getting injuries and help your joints get their full potential motion. In the article, Harvard Health Publishing, it states, the areas critical for mobility are in the lower extremities, your calves, your hamstrings, your hip flexors, in the pelvis, and in the quadriceps, in the front of the thigh. Although we have a lot of muscles in our body, we do not necessarily have to focus on all of them. We can focus on the major ones that have an effect in our daily physical activity. Here are 4 simple stretches you can perform to target the muscles we often use, which are for your upper body, your arms and your neck, and for your lower body, your quadriceps and your hamstrings. All of these stretches can be a great way to adapt into your daily routine to improve your physical activity. There are specific types of stretches you should perform depending on the activity. All stretches may seem the same, but there are specific types of stretches you should know depending on the activity you are doing. 2 common types of stretches are static and dynamic stretches. These 2 groups are similar but different as they focus on specific things for the body. In the article, a critical view of static stretching and its relevance in physical education states, numerous reasons exist for the pervasive role of static stretching include decreasing of risk of injury, improving athletic performance, and reducing risk of low back pain. Static stretching can be more seen of a basic stretch than dynamic. For example, a static stretch are the ones you would do in elementary school where you would bend over and touch your toes. They're typically stretches you can do anywhere, anytime. Unless you are doing some type of physical activity, such as a sport, you perform this type of stretch as a cool down to prevent any injuries, soreness, and reduce cramps. Whereas dynamic stretch is quite the opposite. Dynamic form are typically referred to in sport or physical activity setting and typically seek to mimic the movements of subsequential activity, according to a critical view of static stretching and its relevance in physical education. Dynamic stretches is more of a warm-up routine and is typically done before your physical activity. This type of stretch is more beneficial to the body because it not only improves on flexibility, but also mobility as it stretches more of your muscles than does static stretches. Dynamic stretches go more in depth as it targets the muscles as you do your physical activity. Depending on the physical activity you're performing, keep in mind of the different types of stretches you can do to prevent any injuries. But stretching isn't just for prevention of injuries. Stretching can also help with your mental health. You might have thought that stretching was just for releasing pains, soreness, and or for warm-ups. Well, you're right, but it has a greater package than that. Performing stretches is a great way of dealing with your mental health, such as reducing stress and anxiety. In the article Stretching to Relieve Stress states that stretching is an effective strategy to aid in the relief of stress. It lengthens the muscles to release tension. As stress builds up, our muscles tend to tighten up. With implementing stretching as a stress relief, it can help our muscles become less tense and loosen up, as this will be a very effective way to incorporate stretching as a stress management to keep you and your mental health in a healthy condition. Another beneficial thing about stretching is that it can also help with anxiety. Regular aerobic exercises can be reduced by making your brain fight or flight system less reactive, according to the Harvard Health Publishing Medical School. Aerobic exercises is a cardiovascular activity which consists of large muscle groups to work at the same time for a long period of time. These activities consist of swimming, running, speed walking, and cycling. With doing such exercises, you're not only increasing your heart rate, but also reducing your anxiety levels. Even though stretching can be not as interesting and time-consuming, it helps our muscles to become more stronger, healthier, and flexible as stretching can help in various ways, not only for the body, but for your mind. Overall, stretching has more of an impact on our body than we know. Understanding the importance of stretching and its techniques, it will help prevent any injuries to our joints and help us perform these exercises correctly. Stretching comes with many benefits, but a key factor we should all remember is that at the end of the day, its overall purpose is to keep us strong, healthy, and fit.